Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E562, a 1970S Batdorf roll from Oregon, United States National Bank of Oregon. DW, I'd love to get hit. Snow is my friend. You're just gross. That's gross. Stan Horn, welcome to the show. We'll let a couple people file in and we'll get things going. I am going to start peeling on this roll to get it open. How are you today? I am doing good. It got real cold last night. We even got snowflakes last night, but I didn't see them. I just saw pictures of it. That's me. I moved away from snow to get away from snow. So, all right, we're going to get it going. There's lots of double dies and a few RPMs for the date. I did not, DW. I have been trying to edit web pages and I'm trying to get stuff done. I did find one of the nickels I'm going to send you, though. I did do that when I was going through looking for stuff for other people. But we're going to go ahead and get it rolling here with coin number 1. Michael Ash. One beautiful class 1. For the date. We're going to look at the first 10 reverses. There's nothing known on the reverses. I guess there is, but they're on the proof examples. Coins look pretty good. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's only the first coin. But I'm thinking they look pretty good. East-west die scratches. We'll be doing a reveal tomorrow, about 1 o'clock, 52D. I think it's a 52D. Coin number 3 for Ant. Well, I have had a dry spell on 1970 rolls, S, D, and P. They're some of my favorites to search, but I think the last half dozen I've looked at have been nothing burgers. So we're due. Coin 4 for Stan. This is the first. We didn't get any snow to speak of. There was just some, you could see it flying in the air. But it is actually the first time where I'm at. It has snowed in 38 years. They had a quarter of an inch. Urka lived here the last time it snowed as a kid. You know, I look for those double dies. I can't tell you why I enjoy searching them. It's just a date that I always have enjoyed searching. I've always had pretty good luck finding stuff. You know, a lot of the doubled dies are doubled above the 7, under the O. Then you got the bar L's where you see them either here or up here. Then, of course, you got the big one. I've never found the big one. But I sure hope one day I do. So, to be honest, I just couldn't actually tell you why I like them. Robert Bruce, welcome. But that's it. So I guess it would be no particular reason except that I've searched a lot of them and I don't know, I just kind of like it. Of course, I like searching everything, but I do have dates that I prefer. I mean, I love searching 59 through 64. Of course, like almost everybody does. Got some machine doubling on this. It's actually a good example of machine doubling. Yeah, I've like I said, I've bought one of those, and found one, but I've never found those in rolls either. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I've found quite a few of them. Machine doubling on this also. Ended up moving this up a little earlier than I had even had it because for some reason I thought the Coin Show podcast was at 11:30 and it's at 10:30 my time, so I want to be done with this so I can go watch that. Next coin, Dirty Water. So you've never found a bar 7. That surprises me. Or a bar L in the 70S or 70D or 70P. All three dates have it. Even 71 has some of them. Same 3 or 4 dies coming out. It's possible. But it, you know, like I said, I've had a dry spell. So, oh, that coin is stuck together. Man, it is there. I wonder what the heck that was. Even during reveals, we've actually had pretty good luck with the 70s rolls. It's just been the last few have been kind of dry. That's why I always stress, you know, 2 types of lighting, 2 types of magnification. Machine doubling again. You're not that late, Eric. I don't think I've pulled one of your coins yet. We got snowflakes last night. Nothing that stuck. I didn't even know it happened. It happened in the middle of the night. There was a picture on Facebook from the city that all the kids should be happy we got snow. I personally threw up in my mouth a little bit. Coin 15 for Mickey. That's right. That's right. Well, they can't go much further. I mean, of course, I'm just right on the border where it becomes Southwest Florida. Basically, exit 182 is where they consider Southwest Florida to start at. Snowbirds, though, ever since the tariff stuff, most of the snowbirds by me are Canadians. So we haven't got a ton of snowbirds because they can only stay a few months at a time now or they lose their health insurance. So they don't come down like they used to ever since the tariff started. Dan, welcome. I know I've got a neighbor. I don't think they've been down for 2 years. It is. Well, if you drive down I-75, the sign is right before exit 182. It's like exit 184. It says, "Welcome to Southwest Florida." It probably was. It got down to 28 or 29 here last night. All my tropical plants are dead. The neighbor had some sort of corn palm or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's the biggest one I've ever seen, and it had to be 25 years old, and it is dead. So 62. Oh, well, it'll be 62 here. It'll be nice again in a couple days. But it's not going to be high as 70s like it usually. Usually it's low of 55, low of 60. High of 70, 75 in the wintertime, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like low of 40, high of 65 for the next 2 weeks. This weather phenomenon, I guess the Midwest is getting it too, is basically the same pattern they had in 1989, and that's when we had snow here the last time. The bitter cold into Iowa and through the heart of the Midwest. Little struck through right there. Yikes. Yeah, my big problem is, we have heat, but when the outside temperature gets below like 40, the heat doesn't work. Because it's basically, I don't know how they do it, but it's basically reversing a valve in the AC. I have a feeling I got a little animal hiding outside the door. Another little struck through. Anybody got any big plans for today? No, my big plan is to sit around and do nothing. These are all large dates, by the way. Easy way of telling the large date is right here. This would come across and basically point right that way instead of this way. Oh yeah, I got a friend that lives in Lake Charles, Dan, and she says all my plants are dead, everything's dead. You guys are just gross. Now, I used to like doing that even in the cold. I used to like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a big ice fisherman and I used to love hunting. But in my old age, I don't love that stuff that much anymore. I like fishing still. Even that, I don't go fishing. I used to go fishing, make time to go fishing. And I haven't been fishing in probably 3 or 4 years now. I had a friend that just moved back to Michigan from Vermont. He said he liked living in Vermont very much. But he said he liked living in Delaware very much, and my neighbor across the street, you couldn't pay him enough money to go back to Delaware. But I think his deal is more politics than it is weather. I think he's really a hard right guy. And I'm speculating that politics in Delaware is kind of hard left. Well, that's what I wanted to do, Dan. I got old and moved to Florida. But I probably wouldn't have rushed to move here if my wife didn't want to move here. And then her job said, hey, you want to move to Florida and work? And it was like, yep. And she says, don't you have to talk to your family about it? And she was like, nope, we already talked about it. Yeah, that's what I heard. I know that he still goes and visits Vermont quite frequently. The reason he left to go back to Michigan was a work thing. And I think that's the reason he actually moved to Vermont in the first place. Was he worked for a Michigan company that had a place in Delaware that they needed him, or in Vermont and Delaware, because he had lived in Delaware too and said he loved it. There's a struck through grease, pretty significant one too. Let me get my thing over here just to make sure we're not dealing with something else. But I saw one of these that looked almost the same. So I'm pretty much assuming that it is. It's got a grease strike there too. Perfect, right on. So it is struck through grease. Definitely. Now, do you pull strike throughs out, DW? You save all that stuff? I've got a future article that has been in the can for over a year about a roll of 54S we did that were almost every coin was struck through and they were all from different dies. So I'm assuming the date on the roll was like December, that it must have been during a holiday or something. They had everything shut down and greased up and that roll came right off. One of your favorite. All right. Wow, another coin that just stuck together. Paul Adams, welcome to the show. Yeah, you like the toners too, don't you, Dan? You know, I have never spent a lot of time looking for that stuff. I really need to. I am really the late quarters. I really don't look at them that much, and I really should. When I do look at all my pocket change for the last few years, but I don't actively pursue like buying a box of quarters to look at them. I probably should, just to expand my horizons and learn a little bit more about them. I mean, I would love to find a Duke Ellington double die. That's kind of a dream coin. Coin 37. You have one of the lesser ones? Oh, yeah. I love the big one. That's just like a really cool double die. You know what? Dimes, I like looking at dimes. There's a lot of those extra olive branch varieties, and I pull those out all the time. But I don't look at them enough either. I mean, I look at them. I used to look at those more because I would look at all the change that my wife would get for work, and I would check it out. Next coin, Frostbite. And I found quite a few BU dimes that had the extra leaf, class 9s. At the fun show, Alan found the high leaf and low leaf Wisconsin quarters, and he found them just looking through box. And he goes, there was all sorts of stuff in those quarters. And I was like, people probably don't come here to look at those quarters. Next coin for Doug. Oh, stuck together. You're getting a thing. Well, I'm not getting any errors. It's saying that my stream is super strong. You too. All right, well, let me see what I can do. Stream status, excellent. So whatever's going on must be YouTube and not me. Yeah, it must be the node of YouTube that you are getting your information from. Matter of fact, it just told me that my bit rate was 49,000 and that I should only be using 25,000 to adjust it for future streams because I'm using too much bandwidth. A little bit of a struck through there. Coin 43. Mark. Maybe it was just a little blip. Yeah, I gotta say that when I went into my widget to look at the stream health, I've never had it say that my stream was actually very healthy and that I should consider adjusting it down. Another little struck through grease, and that's the same die pair, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep, same die pair. So we've seen 3 struck throughs right there. The other one was struck through a little. I guess this one is too, right by the Y. Coin 45, Farm Dog. Boy, my phone has just decided to explode. I wonder who it is. How many of y'all are going to watch the Coin Show podcast this morning? I think that app happens in about 20 minutes from now, 25 minutes. If you decide to go there, tell them that I sent you over. Mike and Matt definitely are good to listen to. Coin 48. It is a channel. It's the Coin Show podcast with Mike Nottleman and Matt Dinger. So if you're not a member, see, that's a different die there than we've seen. If you're not a member, definitely go and become a member and check them out. They've got some good information. They're not so much into die varieties as they are general coin collecting. Harlan Burke is more, they're like super into ancients. If you're into ancient coins, the Ancient Coin Podcast is a good channel to subscribe to also. You know, let me look. I don't know if I can or not. Let me try. Let's see. I think I got it. Well, the previous coin. Well, let me look. No. No. The design on 69, actually from 70, 71, the design is actually thick. We'll take a look at this one and I'll show you what I mean. See, it is just thick, like in the S and on the sides in general. And as the dies wear, this one's not as worn as that one is. Even 1 cent is thick on this design. Got some. And the last coin in the roll, Taco John. And the Nothing Burger roll. That is depressing. Tomorrow we got a 52D roll. There's always something, whether it's big or small, in those rolls, it seems like. They're kind of like 60D rolls. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining, and head on over to the Coin Show podcast. It's definitely a good time. I'm not sure what their subject is today. Probably going to be about silver and gold falling. So if you're into metals, or stacking, or coin collecting, or die varieties, like I said, they don't do a whole lot on die varieties, but he's had featured some very sweet errors, like stacks of 20 coins struck from one die pair and basically smashed together. He's had some good ones that we've had on Frostbite's channel. But anyways, thanks again, and if I don't see you there in a little bit, I will see you tomorrow, or I'll see you in the neighborhood. We'll talk to y'all later.